ממשלת לבנון התחייבה.
We continue to attack Iran with all our might. Regarding Lebanon, Hezbollah made a grave mistake when it attacked Israel, as a tool of the Iranian terrorist regime, and it is paying and will pay a heavy price. The IDF continues and will continue to operate in Lebanon with full force against Hezbollah terrorists and against the missile launchers. From Iran all the way to Lebanon, is a defiant Israel rapidly expanding this explosive theater of war and now openly challenging Donald Trump? Even as President Trump publicly hints at urgently winding down the Iran war, Israel's military command explicitly vows to escalate their devastating regional attacks. Is an increasingly cornered Prime Minister Netanyahu desperately drawing up entirely new war plans just as Trump actively pushes for a quick peace? Have Turkey and Pakistan been desperately roped in by Trump to essentially beg Mojtaba Khamenei to finally halt this relentless Iranian military retaliation? Iran's military publicly mocks Trump's desperate peace bid, openly claiming the US president is effectively just negotiating alone with himself. As the anxious world desperately awaits peace, has an unyielding Iran just launched another direct kinetic strike straight into Israel's highly sensitive nuclear heartland? Israel's theater of war continues to widen from Iran into Lebanon as the conflict now crosses the 4-week mark. Israel's defense minister revealed that its armed forces are now examining additional targets across both Iran and Lebanon. Israel Katz and the IDF chief have reportedly approved a fresh series of strikes, according to Times of Israel. In addition, Katz reportedly admitted Israel has dropped more than 15,000 bombs on Iran since February 28. That total is 4 times higher than the scale of the 12-day hostilities in June last year, Katz said. On Lebanon, the Israeli defense minister issued a direct warning publicly on March 25. Israel Katz claimed there would be no homes or residents left in Lebanese areas with what he called terror and missiles. Katz's remarks came as Hezbollah continued launching rocket fire into Israel from Lebanese territory. 10 rockets were reportedly fired toward Haifa by Hezbollah, according to Times of Israel. The IDF alleged some of those rockets were intercepted, while others were allowed to land in open areas. We continue to attack Iran with all our might. Regarding Lebanon, Hezbollah made a grave mistake when it attacked Israel, as a tool of the Iranian terrorist regime, and it is paying and will pay a heavy price. The IDF continues and will continue to operate in Lebanon with full force against Hezbollah terrorists and against the missile launchers. The Lebanese government pledged to disarm Hezbollah in southern Lebanon and throughout Lebanon, and it has done nothing. The IDF is maneuvering into Lebanese territory to seize a front line of defense, eliminating Hezbollah terrorists and destroying the terrorist infrastructures that were established there, and the houses in the Lebanese contact villages near the border, which serve as terrorist outposts for all intents and purposes, in accordance with the Rafah and Beit Hanan models in Gaza, in order to create a defensive space and remove the threat from the communities. Hundreds of thousands of residents of southern Lebanon who evacuated north will not return south of the Litani River until security is guaranteed for residents of the north. All 5 bridges over the Litani that Hezbollah used to transport terrorists and weapons have been blown up, and the IDF will control the remaining bridges and the security zone up to the Litani. The principle is clear: there is terror and missiles, there will be no homes and residents, and the IDF will be inside. We will not allow a return to the situation of October 7th. We promise to bring security to residents of the north, and that is exactly what we will do. Israel's war planning against Iran comes as Mojtaba reportedly struck Israel's nuclear heartland. Explosions were reportedly heard and seen in Dimona following an Iranian missile strike, according to Mer News. Meanwhile, Israel reportedly denied that Iran had carried out any direct attacks on its key power plants. In addition to that, Prime Minister Netanyahu is reportedly under pressure as the US signals it wants the war to end. Netanyahu is reportedly set to hold a security meeting on March 25 to discuss multiple theaters of war. The Israeli Prime Minister will reportedly meet only his inner circle of advisors on the war agenda, Times of Israel said. These Israeli security talks come as Trump says the United States and Iran are holding negotiations. On March 25, Turkish President Erdogan suggested that Israel may attempt to disrupt possible peace talks.
İsrail'in uzlaşmaz, maksimalist.
Israel's uncompromising, maximalist, radical stance must not be allowed to sabotage diplomatic solutions. No country that values world peace and stability should continue to add fuel to the fire that Israel has unjustly ignited in our region. Meanwhile, Israel reportedly denied that Iran had carried out any direct attacks on its key power plants. Meanwhile, NATO member Turkey is reportedly acting as a communication channel between Tehran and Washington. Turkey is passing messages between the warring sides in an effort to enable direct talks, Al Jazeera reported. Turkey is also pushing for de-escalation and wants to serve as a mediator in any future negotiations. Meanwhile, Pakistan claimed it had delivered a 15-point peace proposal from the US to Iran. Pakistani officials reportedly passed along the proposal, which is aimed at reducing the conflict. An Iranian source told Reuters that a venue for possible negotiations has not yet been selected. Islamabad is emerging as Washington's preferred option for talks with Iran, according to Axios-based reporting. However, Iran continues to deny that any negotiations are underway with the United States. Qatar Al-Anbiya, on March 25, mocked the US president by claiming Trump was holding talks with himself. The strategic power you boasted about has turned into a strategic failure. The claimant of global superpower status, if it could have freed itself from this predicament, would have done so by now. Don't call your defeat an agreement. The era of your promises is over. Today, there are two fronts in the world, right and wrong, and every freedom seeker cannot be deceived by your media waves. The level of your conflicts has reached the stage of negotiating with yourself. Neither will you see any news of your investments in the region, nor will you see the previous price of energy and oil, until you understand that stability in the region is guaranteed by the powerful hand of our armed forces. Stability through power. We explicitly announce that no situation will return to normal until it is our will. This will happen when the thought of action against the Iranian nation is completely erased from your dirty minds. Our first and last word from the very beginning has been, is, and will be this. No one like us will stand alongside someone like you, neither now nor at any other time. Rejecting the reports of talks, Iran continued retaliatory action against Israel and the neighboring Gulf. On March 25, Iranian drones reportedly hit a fuel tank in Kuwait, causing public concern. A projectile that fell near Iran's only nuclear power plant at Bushehr also raised alarm. While the UN nuclear watchdog said no damage was caused at Bushehr, Kuwait issued a radiation alert.
نظرا لما تمر به المنطقة من أحداث تستدعي وضع بعض القواعد لضمان السلامة التامة للمواطنين والمقيمين. نود لفت انتباهكم لما يلي.
لا داعي للقلق أو الذعر في حال وجود تسربات إشعاعية في الدول المجاورة، حيث أن أغرب مفاعل يبعد عن دولة الكويت أكثر من 240 كيلومتر.
وهذه المسافة في حد ذاتها تقلل جدا من درجة تأثير تلك التسربات الإشعاعية، وذلك لتسقط أغلبها في الطريق قبل الوصول لحدود دولة الكويت.
ولكن لضمان السلامة التامة يجب الالتزام بما يلي: التأكد من أمانك في داخل المنزل وعدم الخروج من المنزل مطلقا، إحكام إغلاق النوافذ والأبواب لعدم دخول تلك الملوثات، الاستماع للأخبار من مصادرها الرسمية، وذلك لتلقي باقي الإجراءات بحيمة.